When you hear the word scam, what do you think of? These days, cryptocurrency perhaps, the fall of FTX and Sam Bankman-Fried, or maybe Theranos and Elizabeth Holmes. Our more seasoned viewers may remember Bernie Madoff, WorldCom, or the biggest scandal of all, Enron. But massive scams are not exclusive to the US. As in all other spheres, Asia is catching up. Today, a trial began in Vietnam in a $12.5 billion scam, a real estate scam involving a woman called Truong My Lan. She's a 67-year-old real estate tycoon who began selling cosmetics at the age of 16 and went on to control 90% of a bank and a real estate empire. Today, she was brought before a court in Vietnam in what's being called their trial of the century. Here's our report.
Chức vụ gì trong ngân hàng thương mại cổ phần Saigon, SCB, thế nhưng với việc nắm giữ
Vietnamese state-run television is being kind. They've decided to blur the face of Truong My Lan, even though she's quite famous in the country. After all, she's one of the richest people there. She made her fortune in the world of real estate, and now she's on trial. Why? Because her fortune was apparently built on a million lies. Truong My Lan stands accused of orchestrating one of, if not the biggest scam in Vietnam's history. The scam amounts to almost $12.5 billion, more than FTX and Sam Bankman-Fried, more than double Malaysia's 1MDB scam. The scandal is one of the biggest in all of Asia, and if proven guilty, the tycoon risks getting the death penalty. So let's look at how this happened. Lan founded the VTP Group real estate company in 1991. She was among a host of developers building high-end commercial and residential properties in Vietnam. As her company kept growing, she needed more money to fund new projects. She often got this in the form of loans from banks. One bank in particular stands out, the Saigon Joint Stock Commercial Bank. SCB, as it's known, disbursed loans worth $43 billion to Lan and her associates. This was between 2012 and 2022. 2012 was the year the bank was formed. The same year, Lan became a shareholder there. Now, you may wonder, how can a bank give that much money to one party, even if they're a shareholder? After all, the bank gives loans using customer deposits, so there must have been some checks and balances, right? Well, there usually are, but not when one party owns 90% of the bank. It turns out Lan had a network of 27 individuals who owned shares in the bank on her behalf. It allowed her to control the bank and control how it spent its money. A lot of it went into buying bonds from Lan's company, after which it was embezzled. To keep all this under wraps, Lan allegedly paid the people who were supposed to keep watch. Standing trial with her today are 15 State Bank of Vietnam officials, 3 government inspectors, and a former official at the State Audit Office. Together, they had managed to keep Vietnam's government in the dark for almost 10 years, until 2022. That was when Lan was finally arrested. But even then, Vietnamese authorities apparently didn't know about the scale of the scam. They arrested her for some thousands of dollars worth of embezzlement. But that changed when they found a diary belonging to Lan's personal driver. It reportedly contained meticulous notes about the cash he had ferried, amounting to $4.4 billion. Just think about that. There was a man who had spent years driving billions of dollars in cash around the streets of Ho Chi Minh City. The Vietnamese investigators were shocked, and that's when they widened their probe, bringing us to where we are today. The trial is underway. It's expected to last till April. Almost 90% of the people who are involved have been charged in the scam, and some may get the death penalty. Vietnam will hope this trial sends a message. The country has been struggling with corruption for years now, so a harsh sentence in a high-profile case like this may have a ripple effect. But for now, this scam is a stain on Vietnam's reputation, and Hanoi will need to do a lot to restore confidence in the country.